Hey, beautiful people. Oof, where to start? This is a 2-weeker, and I managed to wear, I mean, how many tabs have I got up here? Okay, I've got 19 tabs open here, so we are going to need to try and breeze through this so it doesn't turn into the longest video in the world. The weather's been all over the place. We've had a few warm days, and you'll be able to tell what I wore when it was warm, to be honest. But then for more chilly days, we're now into that kind of maybe 11, 12 degrees in the morning, 20 degrees in the evening kind of movement throughout the day. So I wore so many, I can't fit them all on the thing at the same time. So let's do these in sections so you can see. Britney, in the last 2 weeks, I've worn 4 Britneys. And I hope that you saw my Britney video. I know some of you probably wouldn't have watched it because you don't like those perfumes, and others would have watched it and, But let's go through. So I've talked about these loads, so I don't need to talk about them much. This is Sheer Fantasy. I really like Sheer Fantasy. I find that one quite addictive. It's like a lemon, aquatic, plasticky cupcake perfume. So it's got this sweetness, this plasticky cupcake in the base that I really enjoy. And then it has this quite tart, almost slightly balsamic smelling fruits in the top. It's very shampooey at first, and then it calms down. And it's just, I don't know what it is that's so lovely about this one, but I really like wearing it. So it's citrus, water, lychee, quince in the top, mid notes of water lily and lily of the valley, base notes, cupcake, iris, white musk and woodsy notes. And really you're getting that cupcake, iris, white musks, a hint of those sharper white florals, and then I get lemon and water. Like, those are what I get. I'm not particularly pulling out a lychee or a quince, but it's very nice. So that one, obviously, I've talked loads about Jungle Fantasy. I think this is possibly my favourite Britney. Also really addictive. This one it has the same plasticky cupcake that's in this guy. So this is watermelon, yuzu, violet leaf at the top, mid notes, water lily, gardenia, gustavia, flower, base notes, cupcake and tonka. It's a fabulous, not sharp, not screechy, not too shampooey watermelon perfume, with the very light florals, but then this kind of, again, it's almost aquatic again. It's very watery, juicy, and then you've got that plasticky, yummy cupcake in the bottom. And when I say plasticky, that's not an insult. I mean, like, the scent of cupcakes on a dolly, that kind of smell, which I dig. I really, really like it. So that baby is Jungle Fantasy. I'm going to talk about this one in a minute. But so Candied Fantasy, you can see it's still in the box. So anyone who watches my channel regularly will probably know what that means. I did give this one a proper full wear. And it's not that I didn't like it, but I didn't like it enough to keep it. It's not one that I feel I'm ever really going to reach for. I love this pink ombre bottle. I think it's so cute. But I also kind of struggled to smell this one on myself. Like, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's like, I don't love it. I just kind of like it. But if I also can't smell it very much on myself for some reason, I don't really think there's much point in me keeping this one, even though it's very cute. So the notes in, what's this called again? Candied Fantasy is a bubblegum, strawberry and orange in the top, mid notes of hibiscus, jasmine, sandalwood and lily of the valley, base notes cupcake, musk and sandalwood. I kind of get more of a rose smell from this, which might be one of the reasons I don't love it, because I don't really love rose perfumes, and as this is coming across as like a strawberry rose bubblegum to me. I mean, I sniff it and it's super pretty, but I'm just like, it's just not my favourite. And if I want to wear something that's sweet, this is not going to be the one that I'll go for. So yeah, that one's not my favourite. I'm not going to keep it. I do still think it's really pretty. Like, it's not one that I actively don't like. It's just one I don't feel like I need. Pure Fantasy, they have finally put this onto Fragrantica. I'm just going to swap these around a second so I can pick this guy up. I like this kind of rainbow bottle. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Iridescent. This is for people who really like a creamy, vanillic kind of smell. I would say I wasn't thinking too much about it when I did the original video, but this is kind of like original Fantasy minus too much of the sharp fruits, take away some of that shampooiness, add in a little bit of something that's a bit like a yummy vanilla from something like Burberry Goddess. and then chuck in a creaminess that I think is coming from tonka. And it's cozy. This one, much nicer on skin than it smells from the bottle. From the bottle, I'm getting much more of the original Fantasy, but on my skin and when it dries down, you get like a creamy, cozy vanilla with a bit of hint of that plasticky cupcake again. So I just think it's a much elevated take on that Fantasy profile. So this one's got nectarine, quince and lychee in the top, mid notes of vanilla, cupcake and jasmine, base notes vanilla bean, tonka bean, sandalwood, and you get a lot of those base notes coming through. So this one, great, really easy to get in the UK. I think this was like £17 for a 50ml for me, so an absolute bargain. And yeah, I really think if you like the original Fantasy, I think it's impossible that you wouldn't like this. Like, I think it's a super safe blind buy. Not that I mean, the thing is, you have to blind buy this. You cannot smell this anywhere, and I've never seen any samples of it because I think it was an unreleased perfume that someone made of and got onto the grey market. But yeah, if you don't like Fantasy, but you like things like Burberry Goddess like me, you might still really enjoy this. If you don't like either of those, don't go near this because it's that kind of vibe. So let's move on now. I'm going to change my setup. So I was definitely on a little bit of a sweet almond kick this last fortnight. And I mean, this will, most of these will come no surprise because they are my absolute favourites. Like, I just went in hard on my favourites. And actually, I think I wore all of these more than once. And some of these others I wore more than once. So it's kind of crazy how much I've managed to get through. I had quite a few days where it was like different perfume in the morning to the evening, But let's start with Burberry Brit. My beautiful, probably favourite this summer, which is why I think I've got through half of this bottle. This is a 50ml bottle, so I think I probably used 25ml of that in... I mean, I didn't buy it in January, I don't think. I didn't get it in winter because I was craving it when it was a little bit warmer, so I feel like I've had this for like less than 6 months. For me, you guys will know, I've really got through it pretty quickly. So this is green almond, lime, pear and lemongrass in the top. Almond, sugar and peony, base notes, vanilla, mahogany and amber. I mean, Burberry Brit EDT is just one of the easiest perfumes in my collection to just throw on and wear. Like, the original is a little bit harder to wear. I think it's a little bit stronger, it's a little bit sweeter, there's more vanilla in it, and I think there's also more amber. And maybe a little bit more of the mahogany in there that comes through a bit more. So I like that one in cold weather. But this EDT is just, I mean, it's absolute magic. And then in the middle, we've got Donna Acqua. I wore this one because I tested something out, which I've instantly forgotten the name about. But I'm taking a load of stuff with me. I'm going on holiday next week. So I'm taking loads of samples with me just to play around with, to wear, So I'll come back to you with what it was that made me think about this one. But, again, like, it's another one where I'm maybe halfway through this 50ml again, I think this is. Oh, gosh, it's so hard to see on the bottom. I'm pretty sure that this is my 50ml bottle. Yes, it is, in fact. It's definitely, it's 50ml. Oh, God, it's another delicious pear and almond, like, so gorgeous. I think I've said before, the Antonio Banderas Icon Splendid smells very similar to this when you first spray it. It dries down to be a little bit more kind of creamy, sweet, a little bit leaning towards like a manifesto-y kind of texture. But when you first spray it, and at least for the first part of the wear, it really reminds me of this because that is pear and praline. But this one... This says, on Fragrantica, it's almond and pear in the top, frangipani jasmine in the mid, and then base notes sandalwood and hawthorn. It says frangipani rose accord. I think it's like a green almond and like a crystallized pear is how they describe it on the little carded sample I originally had of this. It's heaven on earth, like truly heaven on earth. I love this perfume. And anything that even smells remotely like it, I don't bother to keep it because... I reach for this one because it's my fave, but there are things you can get that give you a little bit of a feel for this. So then, and this one, unfortunately, there isn't much that gives you a feel for it. This Fleur Defendue from Lolita Lempicka. This has quickly become my absolute favourite Lolita Lempicka, although I have another one that I'm actually wearing today, which I'm also obsessed with. I put that up on my Instagram, but I will talk about that next week because I'm making this on the Sunday that this is going up, hence me talking at quite a fast speed today. Fleur Defendue, which means forbidden flower. This gorgeous yellow bottle with the yellow sprayer. Top notes of mimosa, wormwood, strawberry leaf and stem greens. Mid notes of violet, anise, peony, iris. Base notes almond, cherry and musk. It is heaven on earth. It has the Lolita Lempicka, you know, like the actual Le Parfum. It has that DNA, but it's softer, it's lighter. It's less sexy and more kind of fluffy because the musk isn't quite as strong or animalic as it is in the original Le Parfum, and that mimosa is so fluffy. Personally, I find that something about the mixture of the cherry and the strawberry leaf here with that mimosa makes me think of apples, like orchards. Like this is like the running through an orchard version of Lolita Lempicka, and I am fully obsessed. I have seen a couple of bottles of this on both Vinted and eBay. So if you are a lover of Lolita Lempicka and you also really like mimosa, I highly recommend this because the almond's also quite strong in it. So it's just, I can't even tell you the magic of this. Like it's absolutely stunning. I've just realised, just to mention quickly, I did wear Mambo again this week, but I completely forgot to grab it. So I've talked about that loads recently, and it is actually in my another video that's about to come up. So you'll see Mambo again soon. But Liz Claiborne Mambo, I wore that again because I'm obsessed and I love that perfume. So yeah, that's my delicious almond perfumes that I was wearing. So next up, a couple more celebrity perfumes, and honestly, both so beautiful. But I was thinking to myself, I haven't worn Pure Honey yet this summer, and I specifically like Pure Honey in warm weather. I find the florals in it to be a little bit too screechy white floral when it's cold, and the honey and the sweetness and the sweet notes don't come out quite as well when it's cold. This blossoms in literally warm to very hot weather. This is one of the few quite sweet perfumes I can wear when it's really, really hot. So we had a nice warm day. It's really so pretty. It's so pretty. But if you don't like, I mean, firstly, if you find honey to go a bit pissy or animalic, you're probably not going to like this. I don't find it particularly animalic, this particular honey. But if you don't want like slightly sharp white florals, you might also not like this because it's very, very floral. Although I do think of it as a honey perfume, I also think of it as a floral perfume. So if you're not in the mood for a floral, this is not going to hit with you. But it's just, I find it very pretty. I actually wore this to work in the end, but generally speaking, when I wear this one, I tend to wear it on summer date nights, like in the evening, because it's sweet and it's pretty and it has a nice trail. But it's like, it's, I don't know, I guess because of the sweetness there, it feels, I'm not sure if sexy is quite the right word, but it feels appropriate for like date nights. So the notes here, freesia, mandarin blossom and red rose. That is what you get quite a lot of. That is a little bit like, ooh, white floral feeling. Middle notes of beeswax, honey, honeysuckle and orchid. That honeysuckle starts to come through on the skin and it is a beautiful, sweeter floral. And I really think that balances out all the sharper florals. I wonder if it's vanilla orchid as well, quite possible. So base notes, coconut, vanilla and musk. I don't get really coconut from this. I just think the creaminess from coconut and vanilla mixes with the honey and the beeswax, and that's what I'm saying, in summer I get almost a honey caramel smell from this on my skin, and it's lovely. I'm so happy to have it. You can see it's one where, I mean, it's not like a mega dent, but I do have, this was properly full to the top, so I have actually managed to dent this one, despite the fact that I really only wear it in proper summer and occasionally. And still the same, I mean, these are both 100ml bottles, they're big, so, you know, this is actually quite a hefty dent for me, despite the fact that there's still a lot left. Jennifer Lopez still is just, I think, one of the best tea perfumes ever. That's certainly on the market at the moment. I've heard people say that this is discontinued, but I still see it everywhere. Like, it would be insane to discontinue this. It's so good. If I really start noticing that I'm not like seeing it places, I'll get myself a backup. My husband, I think this might be his favourite in my collection. He loves this perfume. So, although saying that, you know, it's like I said, he doesn't necessarily always comment on this one, but whenever we do our videos or if he's smelling stuff, he really loves this. But yeah, weirdly, Oh Resorsan is the one that he always comments on when I wear it. So maybe unknowingly that's his favourite. But still, I mean, it's tea done perfectly for me. This and green tea are my favourite tea perfumes. Like, you know, I mean, actually, and Eau de Well. So it's coming to the season, guys, where I'm going to start wearing Eau de Well again. Oh my God. Because that's one where if I put it on in the morning, I'm wearing that all day. So some of the other sweet ones I've been wearing, like the vanilla sweet specifically, I might have put on in the morning. But I am now gearing up to break back into that love I have. But anyway, yeah, so green tea still and Eau de Well are my favourite tea perfumes. This one is Earl Grey tea, white pepper, mandarin orange, apple and rice, mid notes jasmine, lily of the valley, freesia, honeysuckle, orange blossom and rose, base notes pepper, musk, sandalwood, iris and amber. And Earl Grey tea is famously a very floral, beautiful tea. I get from this. This is another one that definitely is better, I think, in hot weather. You could wear it any time of year, but I think it's a bit sharper and more floral when it's not hot. And when it's hot, it lasts all day and it's quite strong, even though it's very kind of aquatic and sheer. But yeah, I get a literal, like a cold glass of jasmine tea with a sharp slice of apple in it. That's kind of what I'm getting from Still, and it will forever be in my collection. I never ever want to be without it. I love it. Okay, next, a quick shout out to my Modern Princess, because as you can see, this one only has one wear left in the bottle. This is a 30ml of Lanvin Modern Princess. It is, I think, the most beautiful red apple perfume ever. I've had a few red apples. I do like red apples. I much prefer red apples to green apples generally. I know what I just said about Still, but I only have a couple. And I'm just, that smell of red apple, oh God, I love that in perfumes. Whereas sometimes I find that green apple smells a bit like a candle in perfumes. It really depends on the blend, obviously. But this is top notes of red apple, red currant, mid notes of freesia and jasmine, base notes vanilla, orchid, white musk and white woods. So this is like a delicious musky freesia red apple, like gorgeous. I feel like that vanilla orchid is really just making it a bit sweet. I've talked about this loads. I'm obsessed with it. I have a backup that's 100ml because I was like, I loved this right as soon as I got it. And I got the 30ml because I was being sensible. But as you can see, like, it is genuinely a favourite. I like it in not too hot summer, but also because it's red apple, I love this in autumn. So this, I'm sure, will be finished before the end of this year because it's just so beautiful. And like, such an easy reach. It's like one of my easiest perfumes to wear. A couple of random little perfumes here that I was wearing because I wanted to test whether I wanted to keep them or not. So Mojito Love by Ulric de Varens. I was actually thinking about minty perfumes and I was thinking about Mr. Wallet from Lush. And the reason I didn't buy Mr. Wallet from Lush is because there was something about it, because I think it smells like Murray mints. It's actually mint and vanilla, but there's something that comes across a bit toffee-like to me in that. I didn't buy it because I already feel like Mojito Love smells a little bit like a Murray mint. So Ulric de Varens Mojito Love. I mean, I'm definitely keeping this. It's so fun, and it's just a little 20ml. It's from the Varens Fleur range. It's basically, it's supposed to be a mojito, but it's got like a toffee-like sweetness in it, which I think doesn't smell anything like a mojito. It has the lime and the mint for sure, but then it's got, yeah, it literally smells like a Murray mint. It's got coconut in it, you see, and there is no coconut in a mojito. I'm putting my foot down about that. So the notes here, tonic water, sugarcane, mint, lime and lemon zest. Mid notes, floral notes and rose. Base notes, sugar, coconut, nectar and musk. But really I'm getting maybe a little hint of that fizziness from the tonic water, but there's not a huge amount of bitterness coming through from there. I'm getting lots of mint, I'm getting lots of lime, and then I'm getting a sort of slightly vanillic, toffee sweetness in it. So it's like a Murray mint with lots of lime. That's what it smells like. I think it's really pretty. It's really fun. I don't like wearing it for the whole day, but thankfully it doesn't last for the whole day. So this is one I wore in the morning and then I put something else on. But it's really fun. I'm happy to have it. I'm keeping it. And then Alta Moda. This is Real by Alta Moda. And this one is a dupe of Ralph, the blue Ralph from Ralph Lauren, which is one I used to wear many years ago, and then I just kind of stopped wearing it because my friend started wearing it, and then it was her signature scent she wore all the time, so I was like, no. An ex-friend, actually, from university. But it doesn't remind me so much of her anymore. It just reminds me of, like, the early 2000s. It just reminds me of university generally. And the reason I don't have the original is because the original is so shampooey, which I don't know if... That might have been what I struggled with a little bit at the time, because I had a little bottle and I really liked the smell of it, but I somehow found it hard to wear. And now in hindsight, probably very, very shampooey perfume. This Alta Moda dupe is nowhere near as shampooey. And I think I was like, do I need this big bottle? Am I really going to wear this? Because it is so, like... of its time, but the nostalgia, I have to keep this. I actually quite enjoyed wearing it in the morning as a freshie, and because it's not a shampooey, it was much easier going, and it's also nowhere near as long lasting. It's not as strong, because the original Ralph, because of that shampooey quality, actually lasted quite a long time on me. So yeah, I am keeping this because the nostalgia is so hardcore for me, like, and it really did actually make me smile. So I'm keeping that one. I'm keeping both of them. So yeah, so then we had a day where I was testing these out, and because I do have a sample of Rare from Rare Beauty, I'm taking that away with me to wear it, and then I'll talk to you about it properly next week. But I was on my Burberry Goddess dupe kick. I was trying them out in the morning. I wanted to see, because I was thinking about... I mean, this will be too late. I'll have to do this next year now, to be honest, because summer is coming to a close. But I will do some kind of, like, warm weather vanillas that I actually like in warm weather. So, like, you know, Eau de Well obviously being the very obvious one. And Burberry Goddess is one of those. I think it smells amazing in warm weather. And the first time I ever tried it, when it came out, it was pretty hot. And I think it's really, really good in warm weather. It's cozy in cold weather, but... I don't know, I just think it's one of those vanillas that really works when it's hot because of the spices and because it's quite sheer. So, but of all of the three, so this is Angam, this is Burberry Goddess, the original one, and this is Athena from Maison Alhambra. And I remember thinking when I got the dupe, the tester actually of this before I got the bottle, and when I got this one, I felt like Athena was the one that would be best for... hot weather, because it is a bit sheerer and it's more sort of herbaceous smelling to me. There's something slightly different about it, a little bit greener, and you can actually see, like, the colour of this hasn't really changed. This one's definitely got darker, and Burberry Goddess has got very caramelly coloured. So according to Fragrantica, Maison Alhambra's Athena has tangerine, pink pepper, bergamot in the top, mid notes of jasmine, sambac, ylang ylang, lily of the valley, base notes vanilla, sandalwood and patchouli. But everywhere else that I've seen Athena talked about, the notes, so if I look at Parfumo, the notes are top notes of cypress, fruits, green notes, mate, saffron and thyme, heart notes of jasmine, orris root and rose, base notes amber, cedarwood, leather, musk, vanilla and vetiver. Now, I don't really know what's going on, because that seems like too much for this perfume, but the other one doesn't necessarily explain it quite so well, because this definitely smells fruity. There's a bit of greenness. I wouldn't be surprised if there's mate in here. There's a bitterness in this that is more green than in these. There's definitely some florals, and then there's a lot of vanilla. Maybe, I mean, I'm not sure about it. I don't know what the notes are, but it smells like Burberry Goddess. But testing these again, this is the one that smells the most synthetic to me now. So Athena is the one that smells the most like there's some kind of aroma chemical in there that I don't love. And I was already getting a little bit of that with Burberry Goddess. Let me just sniff this again. This is so much more gingery than this. Like, there's a real punch in the face of ginger in the original Burberry Goddess, which is what I really admire and like about it. I love that ginger note. In Athena, I'm not getting the ginger really. Well, maybe there is some ginger, but it's nowhere near as strong, and there's something else going on here. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could believe there's cypress and mate in this. I'm not sure I'd believe that there's like leather and vetiver, but who even knows with these perfumes? But yeah, so Athena is my least favourite just because I find it the most synthetic. And Burberry Goddess, I got rid of my 30ml bottle of this because I kept this pen spray in order to get this baby. And this is the one that I wore for the rest of the day. I think that Angam from Lataffa, still my only Lataffa, and I've not yet had any samples of any Lataffas that I think I would ever want to have in my collection, because all the rest smell purely like chemicals to me. This one doesn't. This is the least chemically to me of all of these three. And this one is sweeter, it's a bit creamier, I get more of the cacao, I get something in the base that feels a little bit like a kind of soft, almost powdery wood. So it still smells quite a lot like Burberry Goddess, but it's just, I think it feels like a more refined take on it in a way. It's less gingery. I do still get some ginger. I'm not even mentioning the lavender because, to be honest, like, I love lavender in perfumes, and therefore I've never thought that Burberry Goddess was like really strong in the lavender. I get loads of ginger, but yeah, I don't know, it's just because I love lavender so much, I don't think I'm very sensitive to it, so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. But I feel like Lataffa, it's got a similar amount of lavender, I'd say, to Burberry Goddess. It's got less ginger, it's got more cacao, and because it's got praline and vanilla, it's sweeter. So it's ginger, mandarin and pink pepper in the top, mid notes of lavender, praline, cacao and jasmine, base notes vanilla, amber and musk. And it's just very cozy, it's very comfy, I really like it. It's definitely a bit stronger than it was when I first got it, and the liquid's a bit darker as well. But when I first spray it, I still get what I get with all of these really, which is a little bit of a kind of cleaning product, citrusy, fruity smell. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still really like Goddess. I think Goddess is amazing, but there's something in it that's almost a little bit tarry, and I don't love that tarriness I get in the dry down that sometimes I get a lot of and sometimes only a little bit. And I was wondering whether it was a aroma chemical, and then smelling the Intense parfum, I mean, that is almost entirely tar to me, like, ugh. But anyway, so the original Goddess is vanilla, lavender, cacao, ginger, vanilla caviar and vanilla absolute. I'm sure there's a fruit in there. I think there's probably pink pepper. I think there's possibly a hint of patchouli. Like, I feel like they've hardly given you any of the notes that are actually in that perfume. But anyway, Athena is one where I don't know that I'll wear this sample, so it might just be one that I give away, because, I mean, it's smelling quite nice to me now, but definitely on my skin, this one smells the most chemically. So I don't love Athena. I mean, it's good to have it to compare, but it's not like a love. But yeah, these two, this is one that's just, the ginger in this is amazing. I mean, from the cap, when I'm smelling it next to the others, the ginger is so strong, it's lovely. But yeah, in terms of like just being able to wear it easily, this one, and I will be breaking this out, I think, quite a lot now, because this one's a bit sweeter. It's maybe not quite as easy to wear as Goddess in the warmer weather, but now it's like kind of mild. Oof. So I wore this for the whole day. I basically started off testing the other ones, and then I wore this for the whole day. And like I said, I'm taking the Rare Beauty sample to wear next week while I'm on holiday, so I'll report back on how I feel about that one. So as I mentioned, I went to a garden party at my mother-in-law's last weekend, and that's why I couldn't do my video. So I was thinking about all different perfumes. I was like, what do I want to wear? What's good for a garden party when it's going to be like kind of hot, but like not super, super hot? And I was like, I was thinking about it. And then I thought maybe I might wear this one. That's what I was thinking the night before. On the morning of, I totally forgot about that. And I was thinking, what's going to last really well, what's going to be really good, and I was thinking, oh, someone told me that they like Versace Crystal Noir. I'm not sure if they've got the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum, to be fair, but anyway, I do think they smell quite similar. Obviously, one's a bit stronger than the other. This is the Eau de Parfum. I remember them telling me they love it in summer, and I was like, I'm just going to try it. And I sprayed it on in the morning, and within 5 minutes I knew I'd made a mistake because, wow, in hot weather, this was so strong and spicy. It was so overpowering to my nose. I was like, oh no, what have I done? And I hadn't only just sprayed and just smelt one hand. I'd sprayed it on my neck, my wrists, my hands, like on my clothes. I was like, damn. Because when I wear this in cold weather, I get almost a hint of vanillic sweetness coming through in the base. And I didn't get any of that this time. It was kind of soapy, spicy. It was creamy, but with florals, like very strong, creamy florals. But the pepper, ginger and cardamom, the cardamom was so strong in hot weather. I was like, oh, well, I've made a huge mistake. So I was like, what would happen if I put an Ace and Ace from Premier d'Elise from an Ace and Ace over the top, right? So, gosh, it's just so dark, isn't it? I wonder if I can... there we go. Let's do that. So I thought, I gave it a sniff and I thought I'm going to try it. And actually, this never went away. I could smell it so strongly on myself from like 8 o'clock in the morning to midnight. Like literally, and I'm sure, like in fact I know because I put the clothes I was wearing into the wash and the clothes still smell actually of both of these, because the bonus of an Ace and Ace Premier d'Elise is it's actually quite a strong perfume. It's a very pretty pear and like a very sweet juicy pear and white floral perfume, or maybe not even white floral but just floral, and then it's got a lovely sprinkle of cacao. It's a beautiful perfume. So Versace Crystal Noir, this is what it says anyway about the notes. I don't know what's right. It's pepper, ginger, cardamom in the top for the EDP, coconut, gardenia, orange blossom and peony in the mid, base note, sandalwood, musk and amber. I still think this smells a bit like fig. I'm still getting something figgy from it. But then someone told me that, was it to make a coconut note or something? Or no, I think it's to make a fig note. I think that one of my fantastic subscribers told me how they make a fig note, and I think they use coconut. Like, I can't remember all the details. She gave me a really detailed explanation that has completely gone straight out of my head. But I think maybe that's why people argue about the coconut and the fig, because, I mean, who even knows what they were intending when they made this? So an Ace and Ace Premier d'Elise. I think this is what the bottles are like now. They used to come, this particular perfume used to come in a beautiful, kind of peachy coloured sheer glass, and I was so sad when I ordered one and it came and it was white, because it's so much prettier in the other version. But honestly, I think they're the same perfume, so it doesn't really matter. So this one, see, this has a real sweetness while also having quite a sharp floral. And it's juicy. I think sometimes people find it too floral, but I think I find the pear in it to be so much like the exact smell of tinned pears, that it's, you know, especially if you wear it in warmer weather, like, and it has such a gorgeous scent bubble around it. So the notes in Premier d'Elise are pear, orange, bergamot and galbanum in the top, mid notes of peony and hyacinth. Oh, hyacinth, that's what it is. So it's not necessarily like sharp white florals, but it is very floral. And then cacao and cedar in the base, and you really do get a hint of that cacao. So together, these actually worked kind of nicely, because it's not like I'm saying this is like an amazing layering combination. I'm just saying, thankfully, I didn't make myself smell even more crazy. But the juicy fruitiness of this went really nicely, balancing out how spicy this was, and also the sharper florals brightened up what's a very thick, soapy, musky kind of scent and floral in here, like very creamy florals in this, very soapy. So they actually kind of worked quite nicely together. I took a little decant of this with me to top up, because this is so powerful that it did start winning out most of the time, so I would have to just put this back on. But to be honest, like, this is, if you wear this on its own, it's very, very strong. It's like a really good value perfume. I wonder how much I've got in this. I can hear it bobbling around. I feel like I've got a dent, but you can't see it. Very pretty indeed, like a really, really nice perfume. I've just checked it with my torch, and the dent is actually to about here, which is pretty impressive for me, isn't it? Oh, it's such a bummer I can't see through it. But anyway, that's really just a lovely perfume. I really advise, if you like a strong, long-lasting perfume, you like fruity florals, you're not scared of a more traditional, kind of slightly sharp floral, and you like a bargain, Anais Premier Delice, I think, is gorgeous. I'd be really interested, actually, if Ruth Ann has tried the Premier Delice. I feel like she probably quite likes the original Anais, and I know that she likes some of the Cacharel perfumes, but yeah, I don't know if she's tried Premier Delice, but it's the kind of thing that I'm like, oh, I wonder if she'd love Premier Delice. You know, with like some of your favourite YouTubers, you sometimes wonder, like, I wonder if they've tried that, and I wonder if they'd like it. But anyway, the last thing I wanted to mention is I went back to Zara, because one of the perfumes I bought from there, what's it called? Rose Marshmallow Candy, is it called? Or Rose Candy Marshmallow? That one, the Joe Loves collab. That one the sprayer didn't work, so I had to go back in. And I tested out properly the Solar Mango. I don't think I talked about this last week, but forgive me if I did. I sprayed Solar Mango on my skin and I smelt it, and I thought it was really, really beautiful. It didn't dry down into smelling like tar, which is what nearly every other non-collaboration Zara smells like to me. It's got this pretty much exactly the same juicy mango that you get in the Body Shop mango body spray. And then you have, like, it's mango in the top, it's solar notes, jasmine and coconut in the mid, and then sandalwood in the base. So you just get that mango, which I think lasts really nicely. I could smell the mango the whole time that it was on my skin. And then you just get a little bit more floral than you get in the Body Shop one. So I didn't feel like I needed to buy it, purely because, like, I love that mango body spray, and I can just keep respraying that. It was only 12 quid or whatever. But I think if you want one that's a bit more of a full perfume and is going to last a bit longer, and it lasted okay, like, I'd say like a medium wear, then I really think that Solar Mango from Zara is really lovely. I also smelt the, what's it called, Maracuja, Exotic Maracuja, and it was foul. It was just screechy aroma chemicals, that one. And it wasn't so much that was tarry. It was like the ones that make my eyes water and my nose tingle and gives me a headache. It was that kind of piercing aroma chemical in that, which I really didn't like. And I do like passion fruit. I know it's sharp, but no, it was chemically. But the mango one was delicious. So yeah, guys, that's it. So like I said, I'm going on a little holiday. We're having our summer holiday. I'm going to be swimming. I'm going to be in a pool. It's going to be lovely. We're just staying in the UK, but yeah, it's just going to be fantastic. So I'm taking a bunch of little samples with me. Some of them are samples I have of bigger perfumes, so I'll be able to show you the bottles next week. Others are actual samples. So as soon as I'm back and as soon as I can, I'm hoping I'll be able to get that done at the weekend so I can put it up at normal time. But if I have to put it up on Monday or Tuesday, then, you know, that's why. It's because I've been away. Thank you so much for watching. Oh my God, so many good perfumes. I can't even. So, I had a lovely couple of weeks. I hope everyone else did as well. Let me know what you've been wearing. Let me know if you have any of these. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you if you're subscribed to my channel. If you're not, please do hit the button. It's really, really helpful. Bye, guys.